This week's episode of the award-winning Here For It podcast, is brought to you by Snapchat filters.
Make me a woman.
Do you have what it takes to be America's next baddest bitch?
Oh.
Just download Snapchat and you too can be a bad bitch. Yes, you listening right now. These new filters are the new catfish wave.
Oh, I showed you my jet. I deleted all of my words about liking penis and stuff, and I just said, unlock your pics before messaging me. Then I put the picture where I look like a real boy. So then people started messaging me. I started getting more messages. So people are attracted to the masculinity that they are perceiving that is being projected.
Oh, wait till they meet you.
Sis!
Is you masked? Yes, sis. I just hope that y'all are keeping the same energy for liking yourselves in female forms on the internet for our trans brothers and trans sisters that are transitioning.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
See, you had to turn it into a... Oh, my God.
Teachable learning moment. Sure did. Because it is so fun right now to see yourself as a woman, but go back to your masculine body and not have to fight the fight every day of being a trans person. Mm-hmm. So just as fun as it is for you to slap a filter on and put it on the internet and say you're a bad bitch, remember that is also someone's real life. Like yesterday they looked like something else, and today they look like a woman or they look like a man, and it is not a filter.
My name is Ronald Matters. Follow me on the internet. Baby, the truth jumped. I was like, do I do the introduction?
Go for it.
Okay. Whew. The truth jumped out. My name is Ronald Matters. Follow me on the internet at Ronald Matters. And, of course, RonaldMatters.com, where we contributed to the Council and James Charles party. And, yeah, shout out to Damian Crawford with his new video, Infrastructure.
It looked dope. I am the Superman, TheSupaman, a.k.a. the Dispeller of Darkness, BKA top 5 sex coaches dead or alive. And you can find me in Bella Noche. Our icebreaker this week is, what would your dream date be? Where, what, and when?
You know, as long as Bay remind me to take my Claritin first, I actually wouldn't mind. But, you know, like, that makes the date cuter where he be like, see, this is why I told you to take your Claritin this morning, because you be forgetting.
Forward thinking.
Also why I can't do prep, because I forget to take my Claritin. And I know I can't breathe if I don't take Claritin.
And you can't breathe without taking your prep.
Is this going to be one of those?
Might be.
Ain't no collection plate, okay?
We're going to get to that part next.
But I would really like to do something outside. I don't know what the details of it are just yet. We're just like something outside, like those little picnics. I feel like it would take like $200 to put those picnics together the way they look in the pictures. I'm not sure. I've never done it. But like something like that. And, you know, a little Beyonce chat, some Samantha Bee chat, some hashtag release the report chat.
Oh, girl. You want this to be a depressing day or no?
No, that turns me on. Like, he's smart. I'm going to have to suck his... Well, I'm going to, because I got to pay my part for this picnic he done put together. And it's not a pay week, so I guess I got to get down here.
Literally.
Bring 2 blankets straight. So.
Oh, wow. Y'all going to mess up a blanket? Yikes.
I'm going to get under the blanket and do my job. I don't want to...
Public play. You got to go behind the trees like the kids in Piedmont Park do.
We're not leaving our valuables. This picnic costs $200 to put together.
Y'all playing this package.
So, yeah, something outside.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with the outside part. The only part that I would disagree with, not disagree, but just for
your fantasy.
For my fantasy, I fantasize not being connected to the internet or people outside of the person that I'm on the date with.
Thank God for Jesus.
So, something that I'm currently planning is like a camp field trip, but the phones stay
in a box,
in a car,
in a bowl,
or away from where we are. Like, we have no opportunity to get to the phones for any reasons. I trust myself enough that I can handle most situations. So, no phones. That means no writing for me, because that can be a distraction from a lot of things. and no Twitter, no Instagram, no texting hoes, no calling other people.
You know you got fans.
Sure do. And they would have to take a moment. They have to take a night off while I'm on this date. But
are you going to tell us you're doing that first?
Maybe.
Because, you know, I'm delicate.
Probably not.
And
Probably
destitute out here. You got to tell me before you do it. Because I'd be, well, my only friend in D.C. is Eddie Superman. And then I'm calling you, and then you out here in
I'm on
Deep Creek on a date. I'm just, girl, I gotta.
Yeah, but I want to be connected to nature. I think it's really good for a connection with the other person that you're with, and definitely really good with centering yourself and, focusing on being in the moment instead of, I haven't looked at my phone in an hour. Mm-hmm. What happened on my phone? You don't have no access to your phone, so it don't matter what happened on your phone. You'll get to your phone.
Oh, you definitely need to tell me because, like, what if you go to Deep Creek and y'all get bit by a bear or something and y'all on the ground finna die and, like, nobody knows that you out in Deep Creek out here in the woods? You got to tell one person for safety purposes.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell one person as far as location, so if they need to find the bodies, sure. Mm-hmm. But, again, like I said, I trust myself enough that I can get out of most situations.
At these Superman, you so confident.
Yeah, I've killed worse things than bears.
Me too.
Wow. Our word of the day, WERD.
Use lots of lube. You can kill all the bacteria and them germs.
What? No, lube don't kill bacteria.
I make this stuff up. Hello.
Apparently. Our word of the day this week, WERD, is ice cream.
Taste my ice cream. What's the second verse? Come on, Jay. Oh, that was written by R. Kelly. Shit.
Oh. You have to sit this out. Ice cream is someone so sweet that you have the desire to lick them. It is a noun. So, it was a word before we talked about people being snacks. People were ice cream. Like, ooh, you see that ice cream on there? The little ice cream cone? I'll lick that.
But R. Kelly wrote that about girls who were dancing in the studio.
I'm not making it about that. Because, I don't know who that is. I don't know what that is at all.
Lifetime releasing part 2, Surviving R. Kelly, later this month. So,
yeah, and this is not that. So our word of the day is ice cream. Make sure that you identify your ice creams out there. Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. We have been very appreciative of the success and the support that you guys have given us. We cannot do this without you. We
can't do this. You got to say it with soul. We can't do this.
Okay. 901. This podcast is not free.
Oh.
If you would like to support these two homos, the least you can do is subscribe to this podcast. The most you can do is get over to our Patreon, and at least for $1 a month, you can support this podcast continuing. At least for $1 a month. I know y'all hoes got it. If you are a hoe that does not have at least $1 a month to support this podcast, make sure that you like it. Make sure that you share it with your communities. That is one of the other least things that you can do. Again, this is a job, and we are only paid by your dollars and your support.
What were you send those twerk videos?
Or that. Or dick slang challenges.
They bring us mouth.
Yeah,
I'm over here asking for the twerk video. You over here asking for the dick challenge.
I'm trying to get a combination plate. Get a combination plate. Can I have a number 5?
Wow.
Yeah. Our affirmation this week is some losses are wins in disguise. Give them time to reveal themselves. The moment a loss occurs, be bigger than that loss. Know that this is just a loss and it will not define your narrative. You are not the sum total of this loss. Life has a running tally of the times you have won, and guess what? You are in the lead. So stay focused in the midst of a loss or a perceived loss, because that loss is also a setup for your win. That is our affirmation this week.
Come on. That sounded very... You gotta have a test in order to have a testimony. Oh, I felt that one. Oh, you gotta have a test in order to have a testimony.
That took you back to Coach's Church.
I think it was like Fantasia. She had did a performance. So I think,
about right.
Oh, it was very that. It was a very... It was some...
Of course, there's going to be a lot of that in any Fantasia performance. Shout out to our new Patreon supporter. Again, This supporter is the reason that we still have this podcast here today. So we cannot do this without you. Martrice Meacham, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We see you. And we are doing this for you.
Also, shout out to our other 3 Patreon subscribers during the month of April. Giovanni Valente, Patty J, and Jamil Jenkins. We can't do it without you. We seriously, literally can't.
I cannot. I'm like Jocelyn Hernandez in childbirth. I cannot. It won't go past my vagina.
What?
Last week we dragged the City Girl and the audacity of DC Black Pride. This past week we saw another gay rapper come out with a highly suggestive song.
Oh, it was just suggestive. I'm like, it was very to the point.
I'm gonna just leave him.
What was the title of it?
It is Slob on My Ass.
See, that's not suggestive.
It's just
that's a directive.
It's not a commandment.
It's still like IVE, but it's just,
yeah. It's like if you back there, you might as well slob on it. So, this highly suggestive song was met by the gay community with a resounding girl bye for whatever reason.
Where?
The internet.
You're not following the right people.
I'm following the person that made the song, and I was in the comments of him dropping the video.
People were telling him to go away with this?
Yeah, people were not
excited. Girl, them Republicans down his comments.
No, these were black gay people.
What? You're not following the right... well, my experience has been completely different.
Hopefully. But that's why I wanted to spotlight it again in our Tepid Topics this week. I just found it so ironic that we trashed someone for rapping about the same things that
Megan Thee Stallion,
the City Girl rapped about.
Big Old Freak. That's big Megan Thee Stallion. Okay.
Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion did Big Old Freak, but she's not problematic like the City Girl. The City Girl is rapping about the exact same things, but is celebrated and twerked to when, in juxtaposition, a gay man has come out and basically said some of the same things. It was like, no. What is so about it? Because you are gay and black as well and also enjoy these festivities, either on the receiving end or on the giving end. So why are we trashing and bashing someone from our own community rapping and or singing about the same things that we celebrate someone that's not of our community that has had a demonstrated track record of hating our community saying the same things in hetero?
Well, I thank you for bringing glory to his name, but that seriously has not been my experience. I was seeing girls like, is it on Spotify? I would like to add this to my playlist immediately.
It's not yet, but he's got bigger plans.
He's trying to get the girls to put the tracks on there. But like, girl, I'm just a girl from Chicago.
He's originally from New Orleans, but he lives around Chicago.
Okay, yeah. So like, he's like, girl, I'm just a girl from the bottom, and I'm trying to call Spotify and get my song on there. So y'all just gonna have to bear with me. And I'm just like, bitch, I understand, because it took 5 months to get here for a podcast put on Spotify. So, girl.
And by the way, his name is Young KSB. So again, support him. Go listen to the track. It's called Slob on My Ass. You can Google it and listen to it.
Spotify right now, see if he done figured it out.
And not as of this morning. It's still on SoundCloud. It's still up on YouTube. That's probably the best avenue because you can watch the video, and the video is again the exact same thing that we applauded the City Girl for doing with the twerk video and the Flued Out challenge. He just did the same thing with gay boys with fat asses.
Oh no, it ain't on Spotify yet.
Yeah,
but he getting there, and we support him here for a podcast.
We definitely support him.
Here for it.
I just want to know where the same hate or the same attention is for this song. Because I've seen hate, you've seen attention. Yeah. That's fine. But where is that same hate or attention for the song that we had for Slob on My Knob, like corn on the cob?
Memphis.
Or Lil Chat Slob on My Cat.
Get it, that's a wet.
See?
I'm never saving cat. I put him on the map. Hey.
Right, all of that.
Your face in her lap. She said she was going to pass it to her friend.
And he did the same thing. He talked about group sex in his song as well. Very, very graphic, good sex.
Yeah, directive, as you said. No, you said suggestive. I said
suggestive. He's just suggesting. Like, would you like to? If you would like to bring a friend can do the front, you can do the back.
Oh, he did mention the front part. I was like, boy, move.
You don't know if
I just said boy move because it's not my thing.
he might be on his versatile journey.
I don't know. But I enjoyed the song, and I do agree when it's on Spotify, he's going to make a lot of money.
I want him to, and we are fully supportive of it. If you have not heard Slob on My Ass, get over there right now. Find Slob on My Ass by Young.
Can you stop saying it?
No. I'm going to say it like 3 more times. It sounds
weird coming out of
Slob on My Ass. Ah!
Okay.
See, that was bird form.
That was one. Okay, say it. Mask.
Slob on my ass, nigga.
Okay. Now
see, somebody got it. Somebody felt it there. I bet you. I felt it there.
This podcast is so trash.
Tyra Banks gave the haters another reason to hate.
Come on out.
And I am absolutely motherfucking here for it. Tyra Banks was the first black woman in an era of all skinny, look-alike, blonde, lily white bitches.
That's my phrase. I love lily white bitches.
I know. I did that for you. To cover Sports Illustrated. The standard of beauty at the time that Tyra Banks graced the cover of Sports Illustrated 20 years ago.
22.
Over 20 years ago. Was you had to be white. You had to have the least amount of curves as possible. You have to look like all the other white girls in the industry. You had
the all-American look.
Gross. And they had, hopefully it was just the forethought and they just weren't using her name. Hopefully. I'm going to give them the best intentions. They had the forethought to put this curvy black woman on the cover of Sports Illustrated over 20 years ago. And now, this most recent issue of Sports Illustrated, she is back on the cover, slaying way harder than she did 20 years ago, proving that the standard of beauty still needs to change, that sometimes beauty is timeless in people that are beautiful on the inside and beautiful on the outside. And Tyra Banks has shown that in her works and definitely shown that in her modeling career. There have been quote-unquote diva models that are popularized and glamorized for being a bitch in every way possible, and Tyra has went in the opposite direction of some of that. I'm not gonna give her too much, but I had to recognize the slayage of her covering the issue over 20 years ago, and then recovering the issue again to this past week, and just doing it even harder after a baby. I think she ate, she served, she slayed the photo shoot, and I am absolutely proud of Miss Tyra Banks. Continue. You are a vision and a motivation. The next one was a story coming out of Baltimore. The great city of Baltimore had a gay pride flag burning this past weekend.
What?
Yeah. Oh, and now the story is taken down. God damn it, bitch.
Who reported it?
The girls. I don't want to give them no credit because they don't want to spend no money here, and that's fine.
Well, they'll be reporting on their stories then,
well,
girl.
It's not that they were the primary. They were the primary reporter source of the story, but it was other places, other places as well. So I know it wasn't them just making shit up. Surveillance footage showed two men running away from a Baltimore business front after setting fire to a rainbow flag on display last Saturday. The store in question is Same Gender Love, a boutique owned by Marvel Laws in the city's Mount Vernon neighborhood.
Oh.
And so I thought that this story was very important and timely, one, to Pride, and to us talking about being out, being proud of being out ahead of Pride season. And like I've always said, I've said in many of episodes of this podcast before, and definitely other YouTube videos, do not be afraid because a hater is going to do these types of things. They are insecure about themselves. It has nothing to do with you and the way that you are living your life or running your business. Do not let them scare you away. Every time that we see an American flag burned in another country, even in this country, the conservative right wants to riot. Government politicians want to go to war about a burned flag. And here we are. We've been suffering the same thing as long as we've had a gay flag. They've always burned it. They've always stomped on it. They've always torn it down. And we've always put the shit right the fuck back up.
Whew, we will rebuild.
Yeah. I would like to take that moment, like I said, to reinforce us to talk about putting the flag right back up and not being afraid to have that gay business opened, and to not be afraid to wear our gay flags, even if it makes other people uncomfortable, even if other people feel like they want to burn the flag or they want to disrespect you because you holding hands with a boy or you kissing a boy in public. Fuck them and fuck that.
I was at Youth Pride, and they had the little miniature gay flags that you could hold in your hand. And so I was doing my small laps around DuPont Circle, and I was walking around. People were attracted to the noise. So the music was playing. They could see that tables were set up, and I'm like, "Oh, let's go over there." And then so like they started noticing gay people with gay flags. Well, they started noticing people with gay flags, and then they started.
That's what this is.
Oh, there's gay people over there. Let's turn back around. And then I was like, well, at least they know. Girl, we might be ugly. We might be poor, but we here.
We are here. And referencing that Youth Pride, it was at a popular circle here in D.C. called DuPont Circle.
Center City.
And
City Center?
No, DuPont. It was in DuPont Circle.
It feels like the center of the city to me. Like when I think of,
maybe it is the center of the city, but it's one of the most popular circles in the city. That is trafficked by almost everyone of all walks of life, and it was definitely a lot of straight people that came through Youth Pride, not knowing that Youth Pride was going on, but they just were going to have a walk through DuPont Circle because it was a nice day for some parts of it, and I applaud the straight people that were curious enough to stop by and ask questions, to pick up merchandise, stay and listen to performances. Obviously, it was not for them, but it's important, definitely for visibility and definitely for inclusion of them in what we're doing, and inclusion of why we're having this pride and why this message is important. At the onset of Youth Pride, we had a vigil for Nigel Shelby, and unfortunately, he's gone the way of the headlines.
Oh my God!
Some people even don't remember his last name, and there are other people that don't remember his name at all. He was just the boy that committed suicide a couple weeks ago, and so that's the unfortunate part of stories like Nigel Shelby is we forget quickly, and sometimes we don't have the youth prides to remind us and to have the vigils and to have the conversations where we aren't having another Nigel Shelby in 2 more weeks. Nigel Shelby, unfortunately, was not the first LGBT young person to kill himself, and unfortunately, he's not going to be the last. Does that mean that we stop doing the work so that we don't prevent that from happening? No, but we still need to remember these names. We need to remember their stories. They are important. Nigel Shelby could have been the next Barack Obama, and he'd have killed himself because of hatred in the world, and we've robbed ourselves of that one light flame. So we need to not allow hatred to rob us of any more light flames.
And that's why we need to continue to make sure that companies like Same Gender Love in Baltimore, I'm looking at it on Baltimore Sun now.
Yep.
So shout out to Same Gender Love, as reported by the Baltimore Sun. Girl, it's the whole gay store, man. We got more flags inside. When we open up on Monday, we're just gonna put up a new flag. So what is you doing? You wasting your time.
And being stupid. And being
stupid. And they caught you arrested.
And they caught you on surveillance camera, bitch.
You better get arrested.
They caught you running away on surveillance camera.
Get out.
If you don't think they're gonna at least give you an expensive ass ticket, because you ain't going to jail for it, unfortunately. If you don't think you were gonna get at least an expensive ticket for it, you're wrong. And you're going to get shamed for it, especially when they catch your face and figure out who the fuck you are.
This could have been a cute picnic with Bae when they take their clarity.
Okay. Next up, on our Patreon, we discussed desensitized sex, and I promised our Patreon users that we would come back to it on the actual episode, and this is what we are coming back to. If you would like more context on the story, you can get over to Patreon, and then you will have the full story.
Oh, because I was going to say, do I have the full story?
Oh, bitch. Girl dementia.
Girl.
Night The porn star from all the black gay porn that you probably have ever seen, Extremely Dark Chocolate, Young Man, Extremely Fat Dick. Has been known for topping for years. Has made a couple of my lists of the best porn stars of different years. He recently took to Twitter saying that he had not had good sex in a while.
Oh, he started the conversation. I saw that. Oh, okay, come on. I be learning so much when I listen to Here for a Podcast.
He started the conversation about that he had not had good sex, quote, good sex in a while. And it sparked a lot of interesting conversations on the Twitters and on the YouTubes. Mainly, the first conversations, the most prevalent conversations, was bottom shaming him because a couple weeks ago, he did a video with Kept Secret, who is another internet porn star.
Acting top.
I don't know what I don't know what that young man does. I don't know what that young man does off camera.
That's why it's an acting top, because on camera he's acting. He's an acting top.
But none of us, unless y'all fucking him,
he's an acting top.
Unless y'all are putting y'all penis in his ass, y'all don't know if he's verse. So
I don't know if he's verse. That's why I'm saying on video he's an acting top. I don't know what he does in his personal life, but on camera he's an acting top.
Sure, Jan, we'll go with that.
Knight is an acting top, or is Knight acting verse? What is he on camera?
On camera, for years, he's only topped. But
so he's
I've known some of the girls that are connected to some of the other girls know that he does other things off camera. And that's fine. That's his business. But again, the conversation jumped to him bottoming for the first time on video over the last couple weeks. I want to say it was only like a week and a half ago that the video dropped of Kept Secret fucking him to the moon and back. It was a cute video.
I've never seen it.
Well, at least go check out the trailer. I'm not saying go spend your money on the whole video. I'm not saying or endorsing that unless Kept Secret would like to.
Here we go. We promoting OnlyFans. Girl,
it depends on how long. It depends on how long the check is. I might. But anyway, the conversation jumped to bottom shaming. Because he bottomed a couple weeks ago in a video with Kept Secret. Instead of talking about the bigger issue, the probably more prevalent issue of him being just desensitized to sex because he is a form of a sex worker. I don't know if he has a day job. I don't know what else he does for income, and that's not my business. But what we know him for is for his work in porn and his work in sex work. And so I thought that it was an important conversation to have because he obviously is not having a shortage of sex because he's in quite a bit of videos.
So the girls are claiming he's desensitized, and you're supporting their claim, or you're?
I'm saying that conversation is the more important claim, more important than he a bottom and that's why he's having bad sex. He just now bottomed in for the first time on camera instead of he might just be more desensitized to sex because he's having so much of it that he's got to do X, Y, Z, A, B, and C, and D to get a good, quote unquote, a good sexual encounter because he's had so many other regular sexual encounters regularly.
He's performing.
That's not fun for him anymore. That's not, quote unquote, good sex anymore. That he has to, I don't know what it is that makes it good sex for him. I haven't been in the bedroom with him. But if it's being choked with a belt, being pissed on, or being fisted, or being in a fivesome, or whatever it is.
He signed to ain't got enough money for all that video content.
I'm just saying, but whatever his definition of good sex to him, he can't get it definitely as frequently as he would like, meaning he is desensitized to regular sex, like regular missionary with one nigga. That's not going to be quote unquote good sex to him at this point because I do that for work all the time.
Okay, so in my thoughts about being a porn performer, you have to eat it, and you have to suck it with this amount of this, and then you got to make sure that when you on entry that you're entering slowly so the camera can get it. Then you got to pull out and then you got to enter again, and then the bottom has got to pretend like this is also for the fourth time, the first time that they're being entered by you. And then you got to make sure that the stroke is being able to be seen on camera because that's what the people are tuning in for. We would like to see your stroke, sir. And then so when you're not able to focus on like, we're not able to focus the way you want to, and I think that's why a lot of amateur porn is making a rise because like it's people who's just having sex and girl, if you get it, you see it, and you don't, you don't. Because I know when you're a porn performer and there's like lights and cameras, they want to, okay, so make sure you do him missionary and bend over all the way because like people do like to see the top's hole.
Me.
Even in amateur porn, they're like, damn, I wish I could have seen the top's hole a little bit. And we're going to talk about porn comments and sexual health. So those types of things. And like, when can I tune out? When can sex be sex? I actually love this person and I'm actually doing all this porn to make sure I have my part of the mortgage.
Yeah, and that's
or the Geico bill.
Yeah, and we talked about that a couple months ago with Knockout and Fame. They did a kind of a documentary talking about being in the porn industry. One of them wanted to get out, one of them wanted to stay in because he was newer to the game, and they were both attributing staying in porn because porn was paying their bills, and for lack of better employment opportunities that would pay their bills in the same manner.
You see America.
Yeah.
You can make $2,500 off your OnlyFans. You can make $1,000 from Breedy Raw or whoever you're signed to. I don't know these other companies' names. And then you can get signed to do club bookings. You can charge like $660, $700 a month for your booking fee, and you can get flued out.
And they come in the pride. Included.
And then when you go to St. Louis for your booking, you can have sex with 2 or 3 men there. You can be a call girl, and you can men. You can make more money from that, so you can turn around and make $6,000 a month altogether.
And that's just for like a, it's not shade when I say
that's
just a baseline,
a base model.
That's just like a baseline popular porn girl,
an up and coming, very.
Yeah. And so when we talk about more of the ones that are fucking white girls and white girls only. They coin is
those girls are
that whole nother rabbit hole that I'm not going down, and I mean rabbit hole.
So when Knight says that he hasn't had good sex, he's like, sex where I wasn't performing. I had to think about camera. There's lights. I got to make sure I'm doing my angles right. I just wanna have sex where it's
not work.
Yeah, and I can understand the plight. Is it the right word to use there? Of his tweets. Yeah, I haven't seen the tweets, but the conversation is sparked. The tweets I saw were, you just had sex on camera 4 times last week, and how you talking about you ain't had good sex? Bitch, because he a sex worker. What do you...
And we also don't know when the sex is performed, so even if it all comes out consecutively, I think he was also in the last Fuck House as well.
You can film something in February that don't come out to May.
And Fuck House, the last Fuck House... was filmed in October, November, and they still issuing parts of it out. I won't even
RuPaul's Drag Race was filmed last June and July. RuPaul's Drag Race is just now wrapping up in May of this year.
Yeah, I won't even comment on those.
I was trying to help.
But I'm just... So the frequency that his porn is coming out does not mean that he just had sex last week. But I also do think that the amount of sex work that him or anyone else does impacts whether they are sensitive to regular sex with just a regular nigga that they fucking. Because if you are having the extreme crazy sex at work, quote unquote, and I don't mean that in a shady way, I'm just saying at work, then when you do have the regular sex, it is less gratifying because you are desensitized to the regular sex because you're used to, where's the other nigga at? There's not a threesome?
And ain't nobody being people you meet for the first time on set, and then you still got to have a good sexual performance because they're paying you. It's like, I just met him. It's likely that we might, even with somebody you love, it's like, oh babe, what was you doing today? It's like, I know I had ribs for lunch.
Chipotle.
Or whatever's mainstream. So imagine being at work and like, ooh, I did not do a good performance. I hope they call me back.
White sheets.
So, yeah, I understand. I don't believe I'm saying this because I actually wanted to talk about how much I hate that specific person, but cool.
But the takeaway is moderation is key, and that's for sex workers and sex workers that don't
Easier
get...
said than done when the light bill ain't paid. Your light bill ain't paid too.
Well, you just have to figure out a model and a budget for it. So again, moderation is still key, even if you are a sex worker or if you're a sex worker that doesn't get paid to do sex work. Somebody will catch that. Catch that. Literally.
These niggas for free. What's going on?
Catch that, literally. Moderation is still key, and identifying what your boundaries are so that it does not change your life.
Okay.
Even in sex work,
I like that.
Even in sex work, if you can help it.
Hey man, if you can help it.
If you can help it, because again, as we've seen with the hashtag Arrest That Buck, there are people that are forced into scenarios in sex work that they are not comfortable in, they don't want to be in, but they're either addicted to a drug, they're addicted to the money, they're addicted to the adrenaline rush, they're addicted to so many other things outside of the actual sex that they will do almost anything, include dying. RuPaul's Best Friend race happened. We only got, 2 more episodes left now? I am with the rest of the internet in being disappointed in this last episode. Being disappointed in the last couple episodes as well. I think Rue was wrong on almost every decision that she made on this episode, to include the mini challenge, to include the main challenge, to include the winners and the losers. I think Vanjie, I'm giving her a whole new name now. I think Vanjie deserved this win, and the fact that she did not get this win makes me believe that she is definitely going to be the one to go home next, because everyone else at this point has won that is left in the competition, and she would be the only one that has not won at all. And typically that means, unless you are Bus Stop Girl. What's the Bus Stop Girl's name?
I'm Roxy Andrews.
Roxy Andrews.
Make it clear, I know you love me, baby. That's why you brought me here. Oh, I can only think of her name when I sing the verse. Come on, Inception.
Only Roxy Andrews was the only one to make it to the top and not win.
God had that in her testimony, okay?
I still hear it and still feel it. Candy girl, you gonna be in the top 5 for anyway. So that makes me scared for Vanjie to go home at this point. I wanted Vanjie to go home earlier because I felt like they were keeping her for ratings. But the fact that she's made it this far and shown a little bit of progression, to send her home would just feel like they've used her just for ratings all the way up until this point. Literally.
I don't think she's upset by it. I think her... I don't think she is upset by it. For Vanjie to be in 11 episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race, after she only got to be in 1 episode the last time, that just her across 2 seasons, her being in 12 episodes total is great. So
secure the bag, and she secured a man, and she going on vacation with her man.
What I do agree with you. I do believe that my favorite show, Lord Jesus, and my idol, RuPaul has made a lot of horrible decisions this season. When Silky was back there playing with the baseboards on No Scrubs, I was like, girl, 1, get your feet off my goddamn baseboards, and 2, sashay away. Nina West sashayed away. I do agree that the biker shorts were a misstep, especially with her body style. Those shorts didn't do right on Nina West.
And she didn't match her sister. Her sister that was supposed to be giving drag
But
resemblance.
Nina West has received makeup critiques the whole season about being clowny and over the toppy, LOL. And then she put that on Sugarcane, which is what I was like, girl, how you do yours smooth, but you still give her this boxy ass eye?
She looked like Pennywise from It.
She looked like the original version of you.
Ooh, before you got on Drag Race.
So, girl, but Nina is still practicing on herself, so her makeup technique when applied to other people is not perfect. Girl.
I mean, I guess, but she's also one of the queens that's been doing this for 20 years. So you've never had to paint anybody in 20 years?
But she's been doing clown for 20 years, and now all of a sudden, Michelle Visage get up here 3 times to tell the girl, get up here one more time. I'm going to put your ass in the bottom, too.
Hashtag Pennywise.
Did Evie oddly deserve all the critiques she got? I wanted to ask you.
Nope. I think that because of the critiques that she got, she should have been in the bottom 2. I don't think that she should have been in the bottom 2, but with those number of critiques that they did give her, I think that Nina should have been safe. I think they should have scared Nina and put Evie and Silky in the bottom because that has been brewing this whole season.
And that would have been pussy.
Because
wow, now that you say that, yeah.
That has been brewing all season, and I just knew it was about to happen. And then they put Nina in the bottom. I'm like, what? Why? Put Evie in the bottom. Evie has already proven she's a lip sync assassin, and then Miss Silky has been talking about the whole season. Let me lip sync. I'm not scared of it.
I can't wait to lip sync again.
And then we see we see Silky lip sync, and it is the weakest, most sloppiest performance
Keep
of a
your
lip
receipt
sync.
because you want to send it back.
Oh my God!
Keep your receipt.
What was she talking about that she wasn't afraid? You should be afraid. You should be very afraid to lip sync with that performance. That was trash.
Did you see on YouTube? She recently performed somewhere and her hair fell off, and then she was like, "Oh, she just kicked it across the stage." And she's on tour right now, and she's not doing any better. And then she was like, "At least I stay more booked than Soju." What? What are you bragging about? That was your sister in the makeover challenge.
Problematic. And she's also a mental health provider. I don't get like the things that are going on with her and the things that she does and the things that she says. But
maybe she understands it's TV. I'm asking. I don't know.
I would hope that a mental health provider would be able to strategize better than that. Like the strategy is talk about you being great and then show that you are not so great, so more people will not come and see you or pay you to do stuff. But I would have lived, like I said, I think that Evie should have been in the bottom because of the critiques that the judges gave her. Do I think that the judges' critiques were valid?
Who were the other
Absolutely
girls?
no.
Okay, so Vanjie.
Akira was definitely safe.
Akira was safe.
Brooklyn won. I don't think that she should have won.
Well, come from my fave.
Yeah, cool. She did the same thing that she's done always before. That we've read Vanjie for this whole season. You've given us something that we've seen.
Safe.
And we've continued to see from you a good eye and a good gown. We've seen that from Brooklyn Heights before. But we have not seen what Vanjie gave. Vanjie gave something that was very different than what we've seen all season. And she even did the fuck out of...
Yes. What was her name?
I don't remember.
New
She's
Jersey
annoying.
girl.
She's annoying. The girl that she did her really good. And so she deserved to win again to make this competition even. It is so slanted in Brooklyn's favor at this point. There's no way that Brooklyn is not going to win. There's no way that Brooklyn is not going to win.
Oh, well, you know, that's my fave. So, I mean, like, I understand this specific challenge where Vanjie should have won. Yes. Because they've critiqued Vanjie all season about, girl, do not come out here in the leotard. I gave y'all girls a pantsuit.
And I gave my homegirl a dress. So nobody was in a leotard. Our makeup was good. Our hair was good. We looked. We did the challenge.
Sisters.
We did the challenge.
They look like a literal sisters.
I have no idea why they would not have given her the win, but whatevs. Again.
Okay, so we got to wrap up our Drag Race talk. Tell us in the comments what you guys thought about it. Tweet us at Here4Pod, but y'all usually just tweet us at Ronald Matters and at The Superman. But make sure you guys use the hashtag Here4Hive because we are looking, lurking, responding, and liking, and sending DMs based on what the request is.
Absolutely. And this week, as in every week, again, hashtag arrest Ed Buck. Ed Buck is still out here on these streets. He has 2 black gay men under his belt.
Have you ever played Bookworm, the computer game?
No.
I noticed it. Look up Bookworm, the computer game. Ed Buck looks just like the Bookworm.
He probably is.
I'm finna Google it for you because I know you're not smart.
Yeah,
so you don't read books.
He probably is the bookworm. He is a cancer on the society. He needs to get the fuck off of these city streets. He is doing what every white...
This what Ed Book look like.
Oh, yep, that's him. He is doing what every white rich person with access and privilege does.
Bookworm was on Game Boy. Oh my gosh, I wish I was masked. I would have got a Game Boy. I just played on the computer at school.
He just is laying low and letting the story die out and doing the exact same thing that he was doing that got 2 black gay men killed in the first place. Do not forget that Ed Buck is still out here on these streets. And Ed Buck is not the only one. Ed Buck is one of thousands in this country. There are thousands of rich white men with access to money, access to privilege, that will take advantage of your black gay ass for a nut. Do not be deceived. Do not be blind. Hashtag arrest Ed Buck. You are doing sexual health this week. So I am the sex specialist here on this show, but my understudy is doing sexual health.
Understudy, what is going on?
Is doing sexual health this week, so you guys be very excited.
And be patient with me.
Okay.
Because, I love my statistics and reporting things cited by as reported by and peer reviewed by. But this week, I'm just going to tell a personal story.
Is this MLA format?
No, it's a personal story.
Okay.
So, I really would like for y'all, YAW, to stop ruining my MyVidster experience with these porn titles.
Same.
The first, I got 3 examples. It says, Granny Pissy Whore, presents for my sissy sluts. And the caption under the video says, now lay under his black balls and lick my pissy juice. Man, first of all, how am I supposed to get off to that? I need to alter who I'm subscribed to on MyVidster.
Confirm.
I need to unfollow some channels. The second one says, hot girl with physics degree get dicked down by a man who lost his job last week. First of all, I'm triggered.
Send me the link.
The unemployment rate in the District of Columbia is really high, thanks to the man in the White House. I cannot get...
Club 96.
I cannot get up to that. How some lily white bitch got a physics degree, but this black man out here got to have sex with her because he ain't got no job.
Sex work.
The third one, I kind of do like this one, but I'm just including this one for because I need a third one. It says, "I be motherfucking nutting, bruh, musty as fuck." And the video picture is, what is it called? The video picture, the thumbnail, is him with one hand like real heavy on his balls, and then the other one is him jacking real heavy. So I was like, oh, I don't like the title of this one.
But you watched it anyway.
I would. So my recommendation, if y'all could, pretty please, do be honest. If it's an interracial video, if it's a group bait, if it's somebody getting down in the bathroom stall at work, like, bruh, at work, had to bust. Like, I've been at work and had to bust. I understand. Like, that's horny. I can relate to that. All these storylines, like, okay, so one more. Verbal guy at glory hole. Now, I do like a verbal guy myself. So, first of all, anything with verbal in it gets me. At a glory hole,
you ain't been to no
I'm not
hole.
seeing his face, so it don't matter. I'm just listening to him on while he gets sloppy topping. So, that's enough to turn me on already.
You sound very turned on already.
I am. I'm trying to, hold on. I'm looking.
Hold on to your love.
So, short. Y'all need to listen and writing headlines, and I'm gonna, as a journalist,
And not lying in the headline. That's the biggest part. I'm like, what?
He pounded her to the oblivion. First of all, oblivion is a big word. I'm surprised you put this in my MyVidster headline. And then his stroke whack. Man, I should report. Can we report people's accounts for that?
Report the comments. Because the comments will take you through. I'm like, girl.
Huh?
Okay.
Oh, that's like that.
I've been giving it to you. Giving it to God.
Also, well, you can search my account on MyVidster. The title is...
What's the name?
Oh, at Ronald Matters on everything. I don't have...
Oh, it's still Ronald Matters on MyVidster?
Yeah, it's Ronald Matters on MyVidster. I don't have fake accounts or hide anything.
Oh, shit, I do.
Yeah.
I got shit to hide.
I know. So, I have a video on my account called Soldier Sneaks a Nut.
Is it me?
But oh wow, he's in the army. He got a good job. He gonna be in his uniform, and he was in the barracks with his roommate. Okay, he had to go sneak off and.
So it was me.
Oh, okay. And this one video I saw right before we started recording was called "Daddy Makes a Mess." It was a chocolate man laying on his back with his abs, and there was a lot of white spots all over his abs, and his thighs were thick. So, search Daddy Made a Mess. See, that's very clear and concise. I can look at the thumbnail. I know what Daddy's doing. And I see that I would like to be in the same place. So, I need to watch this video to get me there. It does not take, Granny Pissy Whore, lick his black balls and suck my pissy juice. It does not take all of that to get there. And if you need all of that to get there, wow.
But beware.
I'm not yucking your yum, but girl, wow.
Beware of the incest, because the title that you said, I can imagine some incest shit comes up. What's the title? Daddy did what?
Daddy makes a mess.
Daddy Makes a Mess can pull up some incest shit.
Daddy made a mess. Oh, it was a man by himself in a solo video jacking.
That's
by looking
the
at
target.
the thumbnail, I'm like, ooh, I do love me a good middle-aged man. Yeah.
Daddy issues.
Daddy lessons.
Yeah.
And that is this week in sexual health. Be more mindful. Be more mindful.
Be careful, ho. Just be careful.
With these MyVidster porn titles, everybody don't need all this storyline. He was looking at me at the party, so we snuck away to the bathroom, and look what we're doing.
Or the sketchy sex college ones of, oh, we in the dorm room and I just let 17 of my dorm mates fuck me. Girl, no you didn't. No you did. No you didn't.
First of all, who giving 17 people the address like that?
It's because they all in the same dorm. And so they're like creating this environment of dorm culture of, what dorm kids do.
Like, dorm, let me see. I'm a headline. I'm thinking of in like writing headlines. You need like 6 or 7 words, descriptive. It don't take all that to get there. Ooh. That's this week in sexual health.
You might be desensitized if it does take you all that to get there. We're coming back to that topic as well. This week in social studies.
Oh my God.
I am the social study teacher this week.
Oh.
And so I wanted to highlight an article on edsource.org that has California in the lead of LGBTQ history as far as school curriculums, because we know that it's not present in most school curriculums at all. But this week I thought it was an important social studies moment to highlight why that's important and how we can do better in the future. So we have more LGBT friendly classes that are coming to high schools nowadays more than ever, because there was none when I went to high school at all.
Tennessee, they preach abstinence.
They were still preaching abstinence in Michigan when I went to high school.
Republicans as well?
No, Democrats.
Oh.
Democrats. But I've always noticed that in the newer LGBTQ classes that we are putting in high schools nowadays, we highlight the transformational figures like Harvey Milk, like Ryan White, things of that nature. And yes, they do need to be a place in LGBTQ history and social studies classes, but we do the disservice of history when we are not talking about James Baldwin, when we are not talking about Marsha P. Johnson, Bayard Rustin, or even RuPaul. All of those people have such a place of impact in the rich history of this country, in the rich history of where this country has come from and where it is now. And this country could not be where it is now as far as media, as far as writing and literary achievements, as far as pride, without people like those people that I just aforementioned. They don't have to be dead to honor. Again, RuPaul is still here, has problems like every other person that has ever been in history.
And on the scales of the mistakes that RuPaul is making, we're all learning along the way.
Absolutely. Ru is learning along the way.
Woo, child.
Ru is learning along the way. We have buildings, statues, money with Thomas Jefferson's name on it, but he has been one of the most problematic of the founding fathers. One of the most, because they all was problematic, if we're going to be honest. But I think that we should celebrate the ones that are still alive and celebrate the ones that are still creating an impact on Black and brown LGBT people and media and the world and news and literary achievements as well, even if they are not dead. I would like to know where the class for Big Frida. Big Frida might need a class.
Oh!
Frida, the actual artist, Frida, Frida, Frida. If you don't know who Frida is, please do some research on Frida. I would like to know where the class is on Sylvia Rivera. I would like to know where the class is on Shane Ortega. Shane Ortega was the first openly trans man in the military. He served 3 combat tours. He was also signed on to the Redress for Repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell with me. And he co-founded the Sparta nonprofit that offers counsel to LGBT service members that are currently in litigation of being kicked out of the military because of their sexual orientation or how they identify.
This current president. Child.
These are people, dead and alive, that are pushing the narrative and making change and making history that classes should be made around. If we're learning about the Thomas Jeffersons, I want to hear about the Shane Ortegas next to the Thomas Jeffersons. Because if you're going to tell me about Thomas Jefferson and not include the slaves that he fucked and the illegitimate children that he bared, then you can definitely tell me about the first transgender.
They cannot put that in the HBO film.
They can, and they should, and they will. And while they do that, we can also celebrate the Shane Ortegas. We can celebrate the Fridas. We can celebrate the Sylvia Riveras. And we can even celebrate the Melvin Lindseys here locally in D.C. In the late 90s. He was the originator of the Quiet Storm radio format that we hear around the country everywhere. So no matter where you go in the country, if you listen to the radio at night, probably after 9 p.m., every R&B, rap, or even old school station, they all have a Quiet Storm. It's Quiet Storm. And they play the Tony Braxtons. They play the old Johnny Gills. They play the Sade. All of that is throughout the country. It's in every radio station that plays that type of music called the Quiet Storm. It was originated right here in D.C., right at Howard University by Melvin Lindsey. Melvin Lindsey, famously here in the D.C. area, did his very last radio broadcast saying that he was dying of AIDS and that he began his chapter in radio, his career in radio, at Howard University, and he wanted to end it while he was in the hospital, literally dying from AIDS complications, doing his last broadcast to Howard University's radio station. So those people are worth reading about. Those people are worth writing about. Those people are worth learning about because they have made an impact. You can't turn on these type of radio stations anywhere and not hear somebody say, "It's the Quiet Storm." So why don't we know where that came from? That came from a young man.
It came from the Migos.
No.
Oh.
It came from a young man, a young LGBT man named Melvin Lindsey, right here in the D.C. area at Howard University. He had so many other radio jobs after that because he took Quiet Storm everywhere. But his biggest and his first one was Howard. Well, I won't say his biggest because he got like FM radio places. Mm-hmm. But those are stories worth being listened to. Those are stories worth being heard and being taught, as well as the Harvey Milks, as well as, you know, the Ryan Whites. Those are also important stories, but let's not whitewash history. That is our social studies this week. Do you have a song for your soul?
No.
Okay.
You gonna spank me now? Can we have a Quiet Storm spanking? I'm kind of turned on right now.
It's the Quiet Storm. That's the raindrops or the cum drops.
Ooh. Title the MyVidster video appropriately. Thank you.
Cum drops.
I will be first to admit I did not get the hype behind Ari Lennox.
Same, and I saw her in concert.
Okay, well let me. So, but the new album came out. I said when she releases a full body of work coming up, I will listen to it, and maybe this will solidify my.
I wonder which one did you pick? Did you pick a single or something that you heard for the first time?
I picked her mama's driver's license number.
Okay.
So, Shea Butter Baby came out, and J. Cole tweeted the link. And I was like, okay, J. Cole tweeted the link. I don't know why this is going on, but I'll listen. So Shea Butter Baby, like, seriously goes off. I'm loving 3 or 4 songs, like Up Late. That's my good song. The video came out today. I watched it. It was good. Chicago Boy is the opening track. I really like that. And she had a song called Broke. Broke. That comes on after the song that I've picked called "Break Me Off," and I was thinking I need to put a song. I usually do my playlist by season, so I need to do like a spring 2019 playlist, and I'm thinking like, do I start with that song? The lyrics go because y'all love lyrics. My knees get weak when you touch me. Body, use it. Sex game, stupid. Break me off. And itchy gitchy yah when the lights is out. I'm summertime crushing, put that game on pause. And do it how I like it, baby. Nice and slow. Break me off. And then she starts speaking in tongues. And itchy gitchy yah when them lights is out. I'm summertime crushing, put that game on pause. And do it how I like it, baby. Nice and slow. Hashtag no Usher, hashtag no herpes.
Wow.
So
no shade if you have that.
Shout out to Ari Lennox. Oh yeah, definitely no shaming. There was the Usher thing. Oh, I wonder, is that problematic? Wow. We should talk about that on here for a podcast. We have a podcast. We should talk about that. But
tune in next week.
Shout out to Ari Lennox. Break Me Off. Definitely.
Local artist, DC fave. DC.
And then I went to her Wikipedia and I saw that she was signed to J. Cole's record label, Dreamville. And I was like, see, now they got sucked down into it, and I'm sucked into it, and I like it.
I believe that.
So,
yeah, Broke, Up Late, I've Been, and Whipped Cream were my favorites from the album. I think it's definitely worth a listen to. Again, I saw her at concert, and the concert, it was rappers around her. It was rappers in front of her performance, and it was rappers after her performance, so I don't think that I was able to appreciate it as much. I think that she did a good job, but she didn't capture my attention because it was like mumble.
She was the slow girl in the middle.
She was the slow girl in the middle, and it was like mumble 2019, children rappers. And I mean, I guess I'm just too old for that shit now. But I was already over the concert because I heard these 2019 mumble rappers before her, and I was like, okay.
Well,
yeah. But I like her now. I think that the album is definitely worth a listen. And there's definitely some tracks on it that I'm going to go back and revisit myself.
Look at us, support Ari Lennox,
a local artist as well. The song for my soul is going to be Less Romantic.
And I get in trouble all the time.
Less romantic than the Ari Lennox verses. And it goes a little something like this. Slob on my ass, eat it from the bag, lick on my hole, don't forget the sack, use a lot of spit, let it run out my dick, can't fuck with a virgin, show me that you used to this shit, used to fuck with... Okay, so...
The way he do it better.
A little bit, just really a little bit, no shade. Used to fuck with a nigga. He was DL. Ate me out so good, busting nuts out the shell. Kept my legs shaking, had my back arched, chewing out my insides, nigga tearing me apart. I met another nigga, said he wanted head, but he couldn't get shit unless his tongue was between my legs. Said he had a homeboy that wanted to join, had both licking different cheeks like I was conjoined. I can't forget dude that I met from the block, used to come and suck my ass straight out the jock. Eat a nigga ass or something. Eat a nigga ass or something. Eat a nigga ass or something.
Look at Memphis inspiring these girls. Memphis 2019.
Young KSB, again, like I prefaced.
Juicy J wrote that when he was in the 10th grade.
Problematic and believable.
Not paying attention in class.
Young KSB has taken the mantle of Juicy J and LaChat and spun it in the gay direction. And I'm absolutely positively here for it. I like the message. I like the visuals. And I think we should definitely support this young man in his endeavors in rap. We do a lot more for our heterosexual, less talented counterparts.
Let's just support. We don't have to say all that.
But that's why we have to support
him, and we go support him.
Don't buy the City Girl album.
So right after Ari Lennox break me off, put Slob on my ass on your spring 2019 playlist.
Young KSB. And definitely get your ass slobbed on while listening to the track.
And don't forget the sack.
And don't forget his homeboy. Shit, let him invite his homeboy. His homeboy might be able to do something that he can't do.
Licking both cheeks like he was conjoined.
Baby. Song for my soul. Song for my soul. I know it's a song for some of y'all souls out there too.
Oh.
So there is that. What are you here for this week or not?
Put your tongue back in your mouth. Wow, what you looking? Wow.
Hair.
We just got to see you Slob on my ass lyrics. I was like, ooh, we friends, but this friendship can go to the next level.
Booked. I'm thoroughly booked. I'm so sorry about it. So sorry.
I think it was the beginning of season 10 or the beginning of season 11. Vanessa Vanjie Mateo reminded those girls, get those cookies. Get those cookies. And they was like, you know what? One of them little companies need to get her little brand endorsement. Oh my God, that would be so good.
She got a Nabisco endorsement?
Can I tell the story? So it was set up like a mukbang video. You know, like when the girls go get $300 worth of lobsters, or it'd be $250 worth of Wendy's or whatever it was. Vanessa Vanjie Mateo had like all the different styles of Chips Ahoy. She had the chewy kind. She had the originals. She had all the kinds in her video. And she was sitting at the table saying, you know what, you guys, my mother has been a real inspiration to me, and I really love my mother. So for Mother's Day, hashtag get those cookies. And, give a shout out to your mom, and shout out to Nabisco for everything that they're doing for equality and blah, blah, blah. So you know what the comments said. That's a man. Oh my gosh, thank you for revealing that. We never knew. I guess it's my last time getting Chips Ahoy. I cannot believe y'all are pushing this agenda on me. Well, did y'all see last year when Oreo, also a Nabisco brand,
black on the inside, white on the black on the outside, white on the inside.
Well, it was the rainbow. They bought full page ads in magazines and newspapers. Oreo did to celebrate Pride Month. Oreo did that. So this year, their Pride budget went to Chips Ahoy. So now y'all mad that a girl who clearly we supposed to be upset that she's not gonna win season 11. I don't think it's gonna make a big deal. Her star power. Anyway, so all the people were mad because y'all said hashtag get those cookies. I hope she get a deal. Okay, she got a hashtag get those cookies deal, and she gave a shout out to her mama in the middle. Okay, so
she got those cookies.
And she got that check. So
Nabisco check.
Yeah, it's
Nabisco.
The National Biscuit Company. They shortened it Nabisco, National Biscuit Company. I was like, oh, that was kind of smart.
Yeah, they own Oreo.
Back in like 1914, 1921, when the company was put together, that was a smart idea to shorten National Biscuit Company. But all these brands came together and formed Nabisco. So shout out to Nabisco for apparently continuing their Pride support, and not just during Pride Month, because the corporations be guilty of that. So it's May, and they're supporting Vanessa Vanjie Mateo and Mother's Day, and what parents and families supporting young men in their families wanting to do drag, what that means to them, because their support means a lot. It's already a lot of shade when you a boy and you looking to date because you dressed as a woman. I'm not coming over your house in this wigs. You say it's a wig? I'm not coming over there. Why y'all these? What bitch been over here? His feathers over here. Babe, they're my feathers.
That's my boa. Put it down. I have a performance tomorrow.
Yeah, put that down, because if any one of the rhinestones come off, I'm going to have to call Keisha back over here. I'm going to be rhinestoning for 3 hours, and you won't get no dick.
And it's going to be light-skinned Keisha, because she available. No
shit. But here for it. Hashtag get those cookies, Vanessa Vanjie Mateo, and Chips Ahoy.
Chips Ahoy. This week I am absolutely here for Common's new memoir. I think the Common is absolutely scrumptious looking. I love Common so much. And I applaud him for making this brave stance in his memoir and letting that lead the story of his memoir, actually, because more of the headlines about his memoir has been about this subject than about rap, than about his ex, who I love so much, Miss Angela, right? And it has been focused more around the trauma that he has faced as someone that was molested in his youth, and talking about the experience, recovering from the experience, still being a strong black man after the experience. And I'm absolutely here for it, because in the cishet space, we don't see that enough, especially with popular black male celebrities that have gone through these things but don't have the courage to talk about these things. It is not something that makes anyone gay. It is not something that only gay people go through or it happens to. It can happen to the most macho, street, hood-ass motherfucking rapper that y'all can think of. Because when y'all think of, when I hear these other commentators, MCs, other people in media put together their list of, top 20 rappers, Common is in there.
Yeah.
Because Common has been doing political activist rapping and talking about the strifes of the hood and coming through the hood. Even though he's never rapped about this molestation situation visibly, doesn't mean that he's never rapped or talked about it in his lyrics subversively. And so I think it's a brave and bold move for him to put it in his memoir and to make that the leading step of his memoir, instead of just hey, I'm a girl that's been in rap for 30 years and I'm a veteran and I got a memoir coming out. It's more of, I am someone who you would not think that this has happened to, who you would not think has been affected by this, but I am that person, and I am many. There's many people like me with the same story, and they've either come through it better because of it and because of their perseverance, or they didn't. And I think that it's extremely, extremely important and noteworthy for him to be leading the story of his memoir with this. Because, he could be leading the story of his memoir with just juicy, gossipy, shady shit. But he's not. He's leading it with a story of redemption, a story of growth, and a story of not being the victim your whole life. And so I'm absolutely here for it.
I'm here for that as well. I saw this story and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope we talk about that on the podcast.
Yeah, and by the way, his memoir is named Let Love Have the Last Word. Let that sit with you. Let love have the last word. A lot of times we will think, like I said in our affirmation earlier, I just made this loss. I just got this loss. My boyfriend broke up with me.
He did.
I got kicked out of my apartment.
You did.
I got dropped off my food stamps.
Oh my gosh, we can't eat good.
But let love have the last word.
Come on
Again,
now.
I think that's a full affirmation in and of itself. And I am absolutely here for it.
Oh shit, what's the next part?
Let's call.
I love this podcast. I don't want it to be over. I want to end the podcast. Can we start over? Can we do like 17 more hot topics?
No. So again, if you are new to this podcast, make sure that you have a shot ready and available. We're going to do our last call. Take a shot with us if you have some available, or if you would like to take a sip of kombucha. We're open to that as well.
I heard that that's really good for you.
It is.
We're going to do our last call shots. Okay. I keep telling you we need to do a brown episode.
I don't know about that. I don't know about all that.
My last call this week goes to Gilead. They will be donating approximately $400 million a year
I'll take one of those million.
in Truvada medication until the year 2025 to help combat HIV. And, Donald Trump rushed to Twitter to talk about how he is supporting the HIV movement and blah, 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 stuff, things. Sure. But this is a great thing for Gilead to be doing. And it's said that after 2025, when Descovy is all the way together, Gilead will move on to distributing $400 million approximately of that to people to help combat the virus. Mm-hmm. Also, shout out to people who support hashtag break the patent. Because, we've been saying, like, Gilead, y'all been strongholding and making all this money. Y'all need to give us Truvada. The people are out here dying. And so they will not be renewing their patents when it's up for their exclusive license to be renewed over Truvada.
In 2020.
In 2020. So Gilead will not be seeking to renew their exclusive rights to the patent over Truvada. So that's two things. Gilead's giving us an inch. So
the reason why that's important is right now they have a monopoly over the
I'm trying to...
But no, it's still a positive for Gilead because Gilead is moving the way that... us, the users, and us, the people that realize it should be competition in the market, would like them to go. And so, same as a user, I don't want my PrEP to only just be this one pill because in medicine, your heart medication, your high blood pressure medication, your erectile dysfunction medication is not just one of them. There's multiple of them. You can choose what you like and what works best for you, what works best for your pocket. And right now with PrEP, there's only one FDA approved one. And for Gilead to be stepping out of the way of that is a good and positive thing. For them to not pursue patents that they could legally pursue and just say, well, PrEP is still the one drug that you're going to get from us.
If you want it, you're going to have to pay me.
Yeah. So Gilead reached an agreement with Teva Pharmaceuticals to allow the early launch of a generic version of Truvada into the market in 2020. That's the biggest storyline. Now, I did have it written, but we missed it with other stuff. But it is an important thing because there are detractors of Truvada and saying, oh, well, Truvada has these symptoms. False. But that's a whole nother story.
It don't protect you from herpes.
But a whole nother... Also, girl, that's not what she's
Birth control don't protect you from herpes.
Sure. A whole nother episode for a whole nother day. But this is a positive step in a positive direction because a billion-dollar company is still saying we will step out of our own way of making billions and billions of more dollars, which they could do. And they're allowing the market to be more diversified by other people putting out other versions of PrEP to diversify the market. Like I said, if it's good for you, good for your health, or good for your pocketbook, if you don't like what Truvada is giving, you want an alternate medicine, it's absolutely great. So I am also here for that as well.
Yeah, that's my last call this week.
My last call this week is to Miss India Moore. If you don't know who India Moore is, make sure that you tune into Pose Season 1. It's on Netflix right now. Season 2 is coming up, and I cannot fucking wait. Miss India Moore, a.k.a. Angel from Pose, the beautiful Angel on Pose, is the first trans woman to be the feature and front cover for Elle magazine. Elle magazine typically is more white, skinny woman bending, no shade.
Very Cosmo.
But very. And they might be owned by some of the same people. I didn't really look into that, but I just know what the magazine gives. And this month on their issue, they have Miss India Moore as the feature cover model. She is absolutely beautiful and breathtaking, as she always is. And for this to be the first trans woman on the cover of their magazine is absolutely noteworthy. I love it. I'm absolutely here for it. She's the right person. It's the right time. It is a new time where we should be celebrating these new media people that are making impact and telling a story that we otherwise would not be able to hear.
Especially on a channel like FX, because I mean, like, it's not like she's starring on a show on Fox or CBS or NBC. She's starring on like a cable network, and so to still have the same amount of reach, like, girl, my voice matters.
Her voice does matter. And again, Pose is also, if you did not know, the the biggest employer of trans men and trans women in Hollywood. This one show on FX employs more trans people than the rest of the whole Hollywood. So if you think of all of the rest of the Hollywood, all of the TV, all of the movies, all of the commercials, all of that, this one show employs more people than all of the rest of Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's why this show is so important, because the visibility, the access, and the money that it generates for people that wouldn't be able to make money. When these trans actors go to auditions, it's like, okay, well, yeah, come into the room because we want a trans, we want a trans girl, we want to
put down that we had a diversity hire on the interview process,
but we not gonna hire you. But we not gonna, even for a trans role, even for a role that you should be in. Shout out to LaQuisha. Thank God that shit is bombing.
I would say I'm waiting on the cancellation.
Oh, it's been canceled already.
But I kind of sort of want to see it.
No, I don't want to see it
because it would be like.
And I'm not equating that issue with trans issues as well.
This is why we say no. I want it to come out so the girls can see us like, this is why we say no. But then something beautiful like India Moore, Billy Porter, Mother Evangelista,
Dominique.
We need all of our people. This is why we support this and not support that.
Yeah. And I'm going to always continue to support it, especially as long as it has a positive message for the trans movement, for trans people, especially trans people of color. I'm absolutely here for it. I can't wait for the season to start. I'm already rewatching Pose season 1, and I'm not bored. I am very engaged.
I feel so much better that I can watch it without the commercials.
Yeah.
And not the feeling of, as a social media person, that I have to live tweet or stay tuned in for like what's the cute design or the cute calcul or the cute. I can watch it and digest it wholly for myself. I tweeted that this weekend because I was watching it because child.
Yeah, I'm on the episode where Praisel figures out or finds out that he's HIV positive. And
he's no longer inspired to design.
Yeah.
And that's like, girl, that's your wheelhouse, girl. You can't let this disease, like, oh, I can't.
Or even host balls the same way that he was. Because, I mean, like, he's there at the balls, but he's too drunk to be like who Praisel should be at the balls.
Yeah.
So, again, if you've never watched an episode of Pose, you don't know what I'm talking about. Make sure that you get over to what Pose is right now over on Netflix. You can watch it all. You can binge it all and be ready for season 2 when season 2 drops.
Tuesday, June 11th. It was going to come out. They just said it was pushed back because it was going to come out on Sunday nights, but they moved it to Tuesday nights. And I like the Tuesday night lineup better.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't got nothing else to watch on Tuesday.
Tuesdays is good. Tuesdays is good.
I mean, if it's not going to be Tuesday, then make it Thursday because I ain't got nothing to watch on TV on Thursday because Drag Race will be off by then.
I like Tuesdays. Tuesdays is good. But that is this week's episode of Here For It Podcast. Make sure you get your podcast merch, hereforitshop.com. Follow the show on the internet at hereforitpod.com. Follow, like, subscribe, listen, all this stuff we supposed to say.
Absolutely. And we will be in the building live and in color next weekend at 50 Shades of Noir. For DC Black Pride. If you would like to meet us and come hang out with us and have a free drink with us.
I'm ready to, I feel it right now.
It's the only open bar, the only free event in DC all weekend long.
It is?
Yes.
Probably.
Everywhere else is going to be charging you $30 to $50 to join, and the drinks is going to be $15 to $25.
Yeah, I've been here long enough to know.
So everywhere else.
Hard Rock Cafe.
8 p.m. Friday.
May 23rd.
I think it's the 24th.
24th?
24th.
Whenever Friday is.
Friday night. Come after 8 p.m. Come get a free drink and hang out with the kids. We will be out there live and in color and in the building. Rest in peace, Daenerys, because I know they're about to take your ass out next weekend.
We have to do a Game of Thrones? Okay.
No, we don't.
I'm just saying,
that's the highlight.
It's been 10 years, and so the girls are like, this way it's going out. Are you satisfied with the way Game of Thrones is going out?
No. Because if Cersei does not come back in the next 15 to 20 minutes of the next episode and someone kills her properly, I'm going to be highly pissed.
Well, I'm just watching this season just so I don't be left out of the hype. So I don't know.
But R.I.P. Daenerys, because they are really about to kill your ass next episode. Dracarys.
Literally, see y'all next week at Hard Rock Cafe, Friday, 8 p.m.
Bye. I am the Superman, TheSupaman. And outside of 50 Shades of Noir, you can catch me at Bella Noche still.
And
this is this week's episode of Fear for a Podcast.
you're not going to say take your Truvada?
Oh, no, I'm always going to sign off with that.
Okay.
The revolution will be televised. Take your Truvada.